Can you believe that for the last, week and a half, I've been saying, everyone, welcome to the Kinda Funny Morning Show. It's August 20th, and finally someone's like, it's September. We're not only like, we didn't just scratch the surface of September. We're almost done with September, Scarpino. Get your shit together.
Nothing about what you said just now rang any like warning bells.
No, right, exactly. It's August.
Totally
it's clearly August. No. August came and went. August is in the past. We are in September. It is September 20th. We are just vastly approaching one of my favorite holidays, if not my all-time favorite holiday, which is, of course,
Halloween.
Halloween, that's right. I like to say the Halloween series season was designed for me because it's bookended by my two favorite holidays. And then, of course, the icing on the cake, or the fondant, as some people like to say, is, of course, my birthday, which is in January.
Nobody likes fondant.
Nobody likes fondant.
And I'll tell you, it's fondant, Nick.
It's disgusting.
It is.
It is disgusting.
Yeah, but it looks real pretty.
It does not look pretty. I'll actually argue. Frosting's prettier. Fondant is like...
It's too perfect.
It's just, it looks like fucking...
Play-Doh?
Play-Doh. It's disgusting. We are, of course, I should note, joined by a special guest today. All day today, we are graced with the magical presence of Mr. Brandon Jones. He is over in the corner because he doesn't want to fully commit to being on these shenanigans.
I also really like Halloween, and my birthday is also in January, so...
Oh my gosh.
Fantastic. I'm January 13th. When are you?
20th.
20th, okay. Yeah. I think my friend Ty's birthday is the 20th.
On the same day.
Is it?
I'll let you celebrate first.
Okay, cool. That's fantastic. I will say this, the reason why cakes and frosting and all these things are in my mind right now. By the way, Brandon's going to be on Kinda Funny Games Daily and Gamescast today, so you can look for that.
Woo!
And we're going to be talking a lot of Red Dead, so keep your eyes out for that. Is because of GOG yesterday, Andy mentioned two shows. If you guys did not watch live, you really missed out because we had a great conversation about a show that Andy watched in Britain about naked people, but we'll save that for next week when that goes live. He also brought up a show that I have had in my peripherals for a while.
Okay.
We've been orbiting around each other for a while, but I have not
to your Earth.
deigned to land on said show, and vice versa.
Got it.
The Great British Baking Show.
Great British Bake Off, so good. Wait. Did you start from the beginning?
Fuck no. I started in season 5. I don't care. I want the new shit. I want the new shit. Daddy wants the new shit.
You have to appreciate Mary Berry and Paul Hollywood.
Listen.
No, their old hosts are so much better than their new hosts.
Have you watched this show?
Clips. Yeah, just like a scene
it's
here and there.
just a wholesome,
Yeah.
good show.
It is the antithesis of everything that is American, which is probably why I like it a lot. It's such a uniquely different vibe than the shows we have here.
Yeah.
Where people are kind of shitty to each other.
And it's so competitive.
Hyper competitive.
Yeah.
And like when people leave the show, they just leave in tears, and you can tell that their life's never going to be as good as it was when they were on that show.
Yeah.
Nor should it be, because they're fucking failures, and they deserve to just fucking go away and
Clearly
never
you
be
need
in
to
the
watch
public
more
eye
Great
again.
British Bake Off.
The Great British Bake Off is just a lovely. They're in a tent. Everything's well lit.
In like the English countryside.
And they go like this, like the second episode of season 5, they were like this, and now your challenge today, and like kind of dramatic, not really dramatic music, but just kind of like a little tension building music, and it builds, and the host stops for a second and goes, biscuits. And then they just have to cook biscuits for like an hour. It is fucking so great. Like the first episode of season 5, they have to make these fruity cakes as they call them, fruity cakes. Spongy fruity cakes. It's great. It's just
so good.
It's just so beautiful. And even the people that left the show were like, yeah, like it's so quaintly British. They get kicked off. They're like, to be honest with you, I can see why they picked this. I could have done a little better, but they made the right choice. In America, the people are like, we're trying not to fucking off themselves when they get kicked off these shows because they're just shamed.
But
they're
yeah,
shamed.
what I think is so funny about the Great British Bake Off is that they're always so hard on themselves during the process, like, and so worried about everything, like, oh my gosh, is it gonna work and all this stuff, versus like the American version is like, well, mine's better than that one and that one sucks.
Oh no,
it's all like way more
assholes in
introspective.
Oh yeah.
Of like, it's like almost competition with yourself to be as good as what you did like at home when you practice or whatever.
It's interesting too because I don't know how they pull people for the Bake Off. But they're not they're not professionals.
Which I love. It's like, oh yeah,
great.
I have like a day job as an accountant.
Yeah, this like one guy's a finance guy. The one kid that's on is 19 years old, and he's like, I learned how to bake from my mom. I've been baking for like 4 years, and he doesn't have like, he's got really good elements, but he doesn't have the actual like
the technical.
Like the technical.
Yeah.
And man, they do the technical challenge, and I'm like, that's easy. and people just fail
because they don't really
miserably
give
at it.
you. They only give you like base instructions, and you have to figure it out.
I'm glad you asked. During the biscuit.
Did ask.
What did she ask?
During the biscuit challenge,
Mm-hmm.
they had to make fortune cookies. And I finally saw how they actually do that. And I'm like, that's fascinating. They fold them into a taco.
Mm-hmm.
They said basically, here's how you do the things, but they don't tell them how to make the shape.
Oh.
But they give them the hint of you have to use the rim of a glass. So people are like folding these over the rim of a glass, like, I don't understand how to get this shape. What you have to do is fold it into a taco first and then bend it quickly over the glass and then put it in a cupcake pan so it keeps the shape. Genius.
What did they think you had to do?
No one could figure, people weren't good at the
Oh, they thought
the
they had to
actual
like form
functionality.
it around the side of the
Yeah,
glass
they were
or
like,
something?
some people were doing it this way, some people, to put in context, some people were like, they
Sorry,
were
audio
bending it
listeners.
and then folding it over this way, but instead of, they just couldn't, like one person like two people just shit the bed completely on trying to get the shape.
Yeah.
The old woman that was in it was
Do you
just
have an
made a
example
dumpling.
in front of you so you can like see the shape?
If you gave, no. I mean, you have to know what a fortune cookie looks like.
Because like I could tell you what it looks like, but having one in front of you so you could like see the exact.
Reverse engineer it.
Yeah, exactly.
It was hard. Some people figured it out. Some people did not figure it out. And it was brutal.
You have to start from the beginning because I'm going to be very upset if you don't understand the relationship between Mary Berry and Paul Hollywood.
Who is Mary Berry and Paul Hollywood? Are
They're
those
not.
the two?
They're the two like main judges.
Yeah. Are they still on the show?
I think season 5 they bring in new show.
No, the guy. I think Paul Hollywood's the guy because one of the guys like Paul
is it-
Hollywood shook my hand.
Was it like an older, like a grandma-looking woman?
An amazingly dressed, like fabulously dressed grandma-looking woman who was unbelievably styled, and then a
Is this
guy
her?
who needs to stop using gel in his hair.
Is her?
No, that is not her.
Okay,
That
Mary
is, in fact,
Berry
not her.
is a British national treasure.
I
think so the two hosts, because is it the one you're watching has like Noel Fielding, like the comedian?
Yeah, he's kind of
guy?
a British rocker looking dude.
Yeah. So they used to have two different hosts, like the host of the actual show, and then they had two different judges. The two hosts and one of the judges left after season 4, so you have Paul Hollywood and like essentially 3 new cast members.
Okay. I'm gonna probably work my way through this because it's so beautiful.
I'm so mad that Andy's not here because Andy also a huge Great British Bake Off fan. I don't know if he's awake.
Call Andy Cortez.
Calling 10.
I guess we're gonna find out. You have to go back because there's one dramatic scene in a season.
I bet
that's
it's
worth
not
the whole thing.
I bet it's not that dramatic though. That's
But
why
it's
I love this show.
perfectly Britishly dramatic.
That's why I love this show. Because it's British drama is like it's all subtext. It's not actually explicitly stated.
But this is like actually kind of dramatic.
I wish Andy would answer his stupid
Any
phone
Great British
just
Bake Off
one
fans
time
out
I
there know
called him.
exactly what
Is
I'm
it that
talking
hard?
about.
It's like a millennial thing, you know? Like I always answer my phone. I have to. I don't know.
The Project 5 subscriber you have called.
She'll left a message. Damn it.
Pure disappointment.
It is pure disappointment, ladies and
Always.
gentlemen. But the rest of the day is not going to be disappointment. The rest of the day is going to be a whip, bang, boom, just laugh riot. Started kicking it off with the morning show. Then, of course, we have a special guest, Brandon.
Bam, boom.
Yeah.
Laugh right.
Yeah, that's an old school saying.
I don't know this.
It sounds like the song from Grease.
Ramalama ding dong. Your coffee smells amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
Of course, this is the Kind of Funny morning show. If you're watching live with us, thank you so much. Just like Jonah8143 says, it's on Netflix. It should be easy to watch, at least in the UK. I think you're saying the show that we're talking about is, in fact, yes, on Netflix. Of course, if you're not watching this and you do watch the Great British Bake Off, is that what it's called? I call it Baking
I think
Show.
it's so on Netflix. It's the
Yeah,
Great British
they changed
Baking
it.
Show because Bake Off is trademarked by Pillsbury, so they can't use the
Fuck
British
you,
title.
Pillsbury. Actually, no, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm gonna take that back. I like Pillsbury.
You like the little doughboy?
Yeah, I'm gonna take
and
it
he,
back.
Like, giggles, you know?
I'm gonna pull that anger back a little bit because I don't know if they own Entenmann's. Or
I
are
don't.
those
I
two
have
separate?
no idea.
If they don't own Entenmann's, fuck you, Pillsbury. Okay, let the Brits be the Brits. If they do own Entenmann's, my bad.
You just like those little powdered donuts?
More than you could even imagine, unless they're dried out.
Oh.
When you take when you're on craft service sometimes they have the powdered donuts, but they've been sitting out for a while, and you put them in your mouth, and it sucks all the moisture out of your face into the donut. You're like, ah!
It's because
You
all the
can't, so
powdered
you're
sugar
trying to
just
swallow
like,
it, and someone's like, you look like a dog that took too big of a bite out of a fucking ball. You know?
Yeah. All that peanut butter.
No, that's this. I'm talking
What
about
other dog impressions can
when
you
the
do, Nick?
dog eats something that it knows it's not supposed to eat, and it's like rubber, and it
Oh.
can't swallow. It's like,
Yeah.
You're like, well, now I have to
Like
figure out how to do
Portillo
a
did
Heimlich
yesterday,
on a dog. You gotta
3
take it and
times.
just shake it really fast so the thing spits out of its mouth.
No. Oh, so
No, Portillo does it all the time. Portillo
All
will
the
walk
time.
over, he'll just look at something and be like, clearly I can't eat that. And then immediately eat it and then go,
Yeah, Portillo.
3
walks-
times
And just
yesterday, I
throw
had
it
to
up
like
on the floor.
shove my hand into his mouth and pull something out. No idea what it was. I refused to look because I
No.
would rather not know.
I've seen him
I was
eat
like,
bugs.
Greg and Jen, come back on Friday.
Oh,
You
God.
got 2 more days. You're not allowed to like kill yourself.
God, I love it.
Portillo, stay alive for 2 more days.
Oh, man. All right. This episode of the Kind of Funny Morning Show is brought to you by Slack and Simply Safe. We'll read those later when we give away 2 games. Right now, let's go into some housekeeping.
Housekeeping, you want me to jerk you off?
What kind of hotel is this?
Now, top on housekeeping, I noticed that a lot of you were appreciating the party that we had yesterday. So we're going to keep that party going.
Oh
ladies and
my
gentlemen.
gosh.
Here it is right here. This is the last of the good stuff. They don't sell this vintage anymore of DC.
A vintage 2018.
This is a 2018 vintage. It's a September or August, depending on what state of mind I'm in. Vintage. We're just gonna do that right here. Of course, if you're watching along with us in our Spider-Man in review series, we are up to Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, which came out this morning, right?
Yes.
Yes. Very good. Interesting watch, I will say. Brandon, how long has it been since you've seen The Amazing Spider-Man starring Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone?
Years, but as long as we're talking Netflix new stuff,
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3's on there. And you
It
got to
is.
do that.
well,
We did that last
We did that last week.
Oh, no, I'm not saying you have to review
Oh,
that
one
as
does.
kind of funny. You as a human being should watch Spider-Man 3 again.
How long has it been since
Yes,
you? How
yes.
long has it been since you watched it?
Since Spider-Man 3,
Yeah.
a long, long time.
Would you believe that if you go back and watch it upon second viewing later, it's actually worse?
I don't know about worse because nothing compares to being in the theater and just seeing that house of cards come crashing down. But it's fascinating because actually, like the best moment is the first minute, and then the next worst is the second minute, and then it just slaloms straight
There's
down.
no
the entire
redemption.
film.
It just goes. Even to the point where they had him do his own hair at one scene where he's like,
Yeah.
that's better. Like, no, it's not. It's
But
not better.
That's like the go-to scene to make fun of that movie, and you're really shortchanging yourself. There's so many other opportunities to make fun of that film. I mean, he throws
no.
He throws a grenade just at James Franco's face. Doesn't even care. I love it.
Doesn't
It's
give a
great.
shit. Should
It's
have
great.
just totally killed him. But
Amazing
James Franco-
Spider-Man, since it came out, I saw that in theaters. That was it.
Well, if you guys want to watch along with us, of course, we are doing Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man 2 is next week, and then we're going to round it off with Venom. Rank all of those movies, of course.
We should probably take tickets for that, huh?
Yeah, we should probably get on that. Let's just do it later. Don't worry about it.
No,
And of
right
course,
now.
if
I don't
if you're
remember
playing
that.
along and with Spider-Man PS4, it's Spider-Man month. We're loving Spider-Man. We're all about Spider-Man. If you guys want to back us to the fan mail tier on either of our Patreons, we're giving away this exclusive PS4 shirtless Spider-Man cover, and over on our Patreon Prime, we are giving away an exclusive Panda Musk art. Go to the next one, Kev.
Now, are we giving it away?
If you're backing us to the fan mail tier,
Okay.
we are giving you an exclusive art what?
Print.
Art print. Yeah, I got it. I'm gonna get through it. Don't worry about it. You guys, kids, let's save all the questions for after this, okay? Let me just get through this one read. We're giving this exclusive Panda Musk inspired and painted, shirtless Spider-Man inspired, I should say, art print. Those are coming hot into your mailbox, which I'm assuming are still on fire since everyone has been delivered the champ headshots from last month. And boy, oh boy. We got 3 more to send out
Yeah.
because we needed to print more because I went a little crazy with some of the. There was Joey had to veto some of the things that I said.
Yeah.
Because they
some
were
of them
just a
like,
little too intense to be. I was like, does this technically like rank as sexual harassment?
Oh, Lord.
And you were like, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, you
Like
can't
maybe
say that out loud.
leave your phone number off.
Yeah, you can't
those.
do that. Some of them, pure gold. The subreddit for the whole beginning of this week was just pictures of people's pictures that they got, which I
love it.
appreciated.
You know you've done a good thing when your subreddit gets to the point where someone has to say, can we just put these on one mega thread? Can you stop spamming the subreddit with this? And then someone else just puts another picture up
Yeah.
as a response. You know you've made it in life when just the image of you can be a response to someone's snarky, shitty comment. Actually, it wasn't a snarky, shitty comment. It was like, the guy was like, let's put this in a thread so we can enjoy them all. But I like to just pretend.
Then Reddit doesn't have them like natively in the threads. You have to click the link.
I know.
It's no good.
It's not
Reddit's
fun.
one of those very amazing places where you're like, I instantly vibe with you because you're already antiquated. Everything about it screams 1997 BBS, and it's the best. What is this? You put
Speaking
this on
of Reddit,
Yeah.
over on our subreddit, the kind of funny UK EGX community meetup details are on there. So if you have any questions, you can contact Cam. He's the OP of the post. So on Friday, everyone's going to Brewdog, which was, I believe, the place that Tim said he's had his favorite beer of all time.
That's the new beer, his new
the new
jam.
IPA. So they have the downstairs section, and then Saturday they're gonna do like a meetup for the Pokemon Go Community Day. So that'll be really fun.
Well, that sounds
You can meet at the
fantastic.
Birmingham Cathedral. If you are going to EGX, awesome. If you're not going, you can still go to this stuff because it doesn't require a badge. So yeah, contact Cam over on the subreddit if you have any questions or details.
Very cool.
The UK crew is showing up.
We're
in these
all
last few
UK
weeks.
now, man. I'll tell you that right now. Like I'm all about UK. I'm all in. I loved London before, but now with
London's so awesome.
with the advent of the Great British Bake Off, I'm all in. They're
That's
so
what you wanted.
cheeky. There was actually one point during which one of the people on the show was talking, and I turned to my wife and I was like, "Did you understand anything she said?" And she was like, "No," but it
That's
was
a
so
subtitle.
beautifully quaint.
Yeah.
It was so beautifully quaint. Because there's like one of the contestants on season 5 is like, she's British, but she's also like Siberian. So she has a weird British-Russian accent that's just, it kind of comes off like you're speaking Gaelic. It's very weird,
That's interesting.
but she's good.
Also,
I already have my fan favorite, by the way.
did you have any idea that there were this many different types of like pastries to bake?
No, not only that,
didn't either.
but and my wife brought up a very good point we were watching. She was like, you wouldn't necessarily, when you think baked goods, you don't necessarily think England. You think pastries, maybe. You think France. But baked goods, I don't really have an expectation that England is going to be good or bad at them. I just don't think. I think
It's not an
biscuits.
association.
No, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Before people start jumping down my throat in the Twitch chat, or if you're watching this on YouTube in the comments, I like a good biscuit. Hold on, I gotta get in my fucking nose. My nose. I love a good biscuit and tea. But when I call biscuit and coffee, because I mean, I don't drink tea.
Which are you referring to, the British biscuit or the American biscuit?
Now,
This is what we need to all get on the same page about stuff. This is too confusing.
first off, yes, to clarify, thank you. I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Because I don't eat American biscuits. American biscuits are more like a muffin, sort of.
Are they?
Well, they're like a savory muffin. You're talking, when you say biscuit in UK, Jesus Christ, I just put so much dirt up my nose. But you know what? It's clogging up the sign. It's working. It's fine. It's good. It's good. That was it. We'll call that just a jury-rigged solution. The biscuit in the UK, of course, you're talking about the cookie. It's what we call a cookie.
Yeah.
Our biscuits are giant fluffy things that we use to sop
Buttery
up gravy.
goodness.
And they're amazing unless they're done wrong, in which case you want to take
Rock
them
hard.
and just hurl them through the wall. Just, you know. Like
And
a
they would
throwing
make
star.
a hole straight through whatever
Yeah.
material that is.
I love biscuits until I don't love biscuits in America. Does that make sense?
No.
Well, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, oh, this is gonna be
got
good.
it.
Like, how many times have you said, Kevin knows what I'm talking about. You sit down, you're like, this biscuit's gonna be so fucking good. And no amount of gravy can make up for the dryness of it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
disturbing.
Oh, I love dry biscuits.
I hate dry biscuits.
I feel like the dry biscuits have the same issue as the powdered donuts.
They do. You gotta get them while they're fresh. If not, they sop up all the moisture in your mouth. All your face moisture goes
Why
into
do you
the
like
biscuit.
that, Kevin?
It just feels good. It's like something someone made that's supposed to like
Yeah,
last
it's a beverage.
forever, and you're eating it, and you're like, oh man, I could eat this now, or I can eat this in 2 years, and it'll be fine.
Some part of Kevin is like a frontiers person, like a frontiersman, where he just.
I respect that.
Yeah, Brandon respect that. Like where you have to have the food where you wrap up in a napkin, and it has to be able to last you for like 6 months. So like beef jerky, dry biscuits,
I'll eat all of
seeds,
it.
any
Something
sort of
that's
seed.
pickled.
Some
Oh,
sort
I
of.
love pickled stuff.
Oh, I like pickled stuff too.
Which makes sense because Kevin has an MRE in the other room that he's very excited to eat at some point.
Someday.
Voluntarily.
But that came with like a game pack, right? Didn't that come with something?
But I still don't understand.
Real MRE.
But I don't understand, like, you don't have, there's way better things that you could eat.
Yeah, but one day I'm gonna come in here. It's gonna be like 3 in the morning, and I'll be like, I need something of substance, and all we're gonna have is like cookies and stuff, and I'll be like, I already ate too many cookies. I want to eat this weird taco mix spaghetti thing.
I just feel like that's gonna make you shit your pants.
No, dude, that's
just
you've
feel
got a
like-
weak stomach, Nick.
I have a normal stomach where I don't know. All right, let's move on. It's tip time.
Give me your fucking money!
If you want to tip us at the $5 above level, we will take those tips. We will read those comments. If you want to, if you have some cheers accumulated, however the fuck Twitch accumulates cheers, we will take comments at the 500 cheer or above. Yesterday we got a complaint because someone gave us what they thought was a $10 worth of cheers, and it came in at 300 cheers. It was weird.
Well, you have to buy the cheers
You can earn
from
them
Twitch.
too, right?
Yes, but not in the quantity that I think it's like 5 bits at a time or 5 cheers or whatever. And then you have to then you can allocate those accordingly. So I wonder if he bought the $10 worth and then just didn't give them all to us.
It's possible. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. 99% of the world's problems are user error. So that's a possibility that that's the case. Who knows? No one knows. Robin Gio has given us a tip, thank God. Robin Gio was gone for a very long time, during which we missed out on our daily Swedish king pictures. So he has given us yet another one. Let's see him. God, he's a beautiful man. God, he is such a beautiful man. He looks a little like a scared ostrich. Does he not?
He looks like he's just been caught off guard.
Yeah, always.
I thought that was Jim Broadbent for a second.
No, this is the...
Broadbent could play him in a heartbeat.
This is the king of Sweden, who is a man that my life goal is to meet him one day and just hang out with him. Because doesn't he look like he's fun to hang out with? Like, tell me he's not like this. Great, we're done for the day. Let's go directly to the pub and let's just get fucking smashed. And I'm gonna tell you stories about how, like, I've had people killed. You're like, all right, cool, let's go. It's gonna be fun.
Okay, so I've been on the show a lot in these past few weeks. I still don't know where your love affair with this man's, like, what's the beginning of this?
Like, there's been lots and lots of photos of him, and in a lot of them, he's like holding a gun and smiling, and but like in a ridiculous outfit where you're like, what royal person would choose to wear that outfit?
Yeah.
And he just looks like, he's having the most fun ever being king.
But how did you find him?
Because Robin GL tips us every day and gives us our daily Swedish king picture.
Got it.
He was
Is
like,
Robin
if you
GL
think,
from Sweden?
Yeah.
Yes, believe
So he was like, if you think, I forget how it came up, but I was like, our president's insane. He was like, you think you're the person who leads your company's country's crazy? Check this motherfucker out. And the first picture he sent us was like when you can't, do you have kids?
No.
No. Like, so it's what I imagine it's like when your kid goes, I'm gonna dress myself today.
Yeah.
And you're like, no. And the kid's like, I will not leave this house unless you let me dress myself. And they're like, fine. And then your kid has to go to school in cowboy boots and a fucking tutu. Mm-hmm. That's what this
He's
guy
the king.
is.
Who's gonna stop him?
But he's the king.
He can wear whatever he wants.
And he just keeps like, he has the crazy eyes where he's like, I'm just having a great time. Like, no one can stop me. I'm the king. And I gotta be honest with you, I vibe with that energy. Because I am the king of my own life.
Yeah.
Nobody can stop me from wearing whatever I want unless that person is my wife or any of you who shame me in this office.
Yeah, and D just throws things away.
No, D just, I'll just be like this. Like I told you, our methodology for how I
The hangers.
keep the hangers.
It's a great idea.
Have I told you this?
I'm on the edge of my seat.
Because we have, you guys get a lot of swag, right? People just send you
Sure.
shirts and shit
Yeah.
all the time, right? And you're like, I kind of like this. But I'm always lukewarm on 90% of them. But I'll bring them home. My wife got so tired of me just crowding I would just stuff them in that she finally was like this. I'm only allotting a limited number of hangers in the house. So if you want a shirt, you got to take another shirt off a hanger and throw it away or donate it. So if you go into my closet, it is perfectly partitioned hangers. And that is it. They're perfectly evenly spaced, color coordinated.
One finger space between them.
It's
the dream.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
Too much.
she might be a serial killer. Who the hell cares though? Because my wardrobe stays fresh. And so that's all that matters. All right, we'll check back in on tips in a couple seconds, but now we got a lot of great news stories. I'm happy about that. Let's go into them. The news. I woke up to this news story today, and let me tell you, nothing could have got me out of bed.
Really?
Nothing could have got me out of bed this morning until I saw this. And I was like, I'm coming to talk to Mr. Yasman300 in the chat about this. Cary Fukunaga to direct James Bond 25, confirmed via The Hollywood Reporter. Oh. Of course, James Bond 25 has had a little bit of a tough time finding a director. Danny Boyle was on the project, was rewriting the script, was like, fuck this, I'm out, left. left Barbara Broccoli in a little bit of a pickle. She's like, let's bring some other writers back in.
Broccoli sounds like a fake name.
Broccoli
it
does sound like a
does.
fake name, but that's how you say their last name. Left them in a pickle. They brought 2 more writers in to try to triage this. And then finally, they were talking about to a number of directors, and they've settled apparently on Cary Fukunaga. And if you're asking yourself, hey, Nick, yes, the man's last name is really fun to say, but what has he worked on? He is the person who gave us True Detective Season 1.
Woo!
And if you remember correctly, we don't talk about Season 2 in this house. No. But Season 1 was probably top 10 best HBO first seasons ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Maybe top 5. Phenomenal
good.
show. Which they just took and drove directly into the fucking ground with season 2.
Second season, I was really hyped for. Man, I can't. Syllables are hard.
He also directed a movie called Sin Nombre, which is really good.
Because they had Taylor Kitsch, who I love, Rachel McAdams, Colin Farrell.
Great cast. Great cast, but here's where you start to get into the minutia of filmmaking. Before I finish that statement, Brandon Jones from Easy Allies, did you have a comment about this? Are you excited about this?
I'm excited. Yeah, I would True Detective Season 1 was amazing.
And here's where you
I
get
double down on your sentiment.
I appreciate that.
So
Here's where you get into why a director makes all the difference, right? Why a showrunner, I should say, makes all the difference. He helms the first season, right? It had that specific. It had his artist trademark on it. We got that long shot that was in the middle. It was eerie as fuck. It was unsettling. He nailed the
gritty.
tone. The casting was great. The dynamic between McConaughey's weird ass, character and Woody Harrelson's aging veteran character was just perfectly nailed. The time jumps were great. Everything was good. So what did they do to recapture that madness? They brought in the guy that directed Fast and Furious, and they were like, nuanced performance. You know great writing and great dialogue and how to really coax performance out of Academy Award winning.
You're
What?
saying a lot of things you
What?
can't take back.
What?
You're saying a lot of things you won't be able to take back. I'm just saying.
And it's just crazy how that didn't work.
I want so badly in the core of myself to disagree with you because you're talking shit about Fast and Furious, but I just can't do it.
All kidding aside, the Fast and Furious is a really fun franchise, but it plays fast and loose with anything that would.
A lot of
with
suspension
everything.
of disbelief.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're not trying to character develop. They're not worried about their actors. As Vin Diesel just says the line, "Good, nailed it. Let's move on. Let's move on." The fact that they're bringing in this director to helm Bond really gets me excited because, as I said over and over again, they really need a different, fresh angle on Bond. They got to bring someone in. They got to bring someone in who can take that series in a very new direction. And I think he could do it. I don't think he will do it because I think that they're too far along in production on this thing, and this is just a jumbled mess.
Yeah.
But it excites me if they were like, "Hey, what would you do with the series?" And if they give him creative freedom, he can probably do something pretty awesome.
Yeah,
with this.
I'm looking at his IMDb because I'm not super familiar with him, and it also looks like he wrote the screenplay for It.
Oh.
Which
So, Mr. Yasmin 300
is
says Cary
interesting.
Fukunaga wrote and directed Beasts of No Nation, which I did not see, but I heard was very, very good. He originally was supposed to direct It. He would have been phenomenal at that as well. He's really good filmmaker.
Brandon Jones, are you a big Bond fan?
I like Bond. I wouldn't say I'm a big Bond fan, but I'm always down. GoldenEye's probably my favorite. Good game, good movie. Solid all around. Solid media experience.
Really just
Anyway,
got a lot of synergy on that one. A lot of synergy on that one.
I still think, I don't know how much of it is just generational of because of that, Pierce Brosnan is most people around our ages.
Your Bond is very much generational.
Yeah.
Very much generational. Pierce Brosnan was my Bond for a very, he was the first, well, that's not true. Actually, let me take that back. I floated around Roger Moore for a while, and just for the longest time was I was just like, he's terrible, right? For the longest time I thought he was just I'm like, this is just goofy and stupid and dumb, right? Then you, of course, would catch, when I was a kid, this is me being a kid, you would catch Sean Connery's Bond and be like, this is kind of boring, but I understand he's a little bit more serious with the character.
Yeah.
Then Timothy Dalton was around there, and you're like, what the fuck is going on with this? They made cool movies, but you're like, I don't know, this guy's got such a weird chin. It's too much of a button chin. It's just too much. It's just too goddamn chasmous.
The weirdest.
And then you get to Pierce Brosnan,
Idiosyncrasies.
and of course, I was in high school, I think, when GoldenEye came out. Maybe, early high school, when the game came out. It was a revelation. I loved it. And then they drove his Bond into the ground pretty heavily with The World Is Not Enough.
Yeah.
And then Die Another Day with the car and all that stuff. Ridiculous. Then of course Daniel Craig
Banging
comes.
Madonna song though for the theme song. For
No,
Die
I mean
Another
like
Day.
that's the one thing they really have, to be fair, consistently nailed throughout pretty much all the Bond movies is the theme songs, and bringing the guest artists to the theme song, and then of course the guest artists to do the motion graphics and stuff like that. I think it's great. But yeah, I mean ultimately, I became probably a Bond fan because of Pierce Brosnan, because of GoldenEye. It made me want to go back and try to gain an appreciation for the rest of the series, and then having done so, going back and starting watching Dr. No, all of them really made me gain an appreciation for all the Bonds, including George Lazenby, who only did one movie, but I do like that movie. I like him as Bond. I like Her Majesty's Secret Service. It's a kind of a bridge between the older Bond movies and the newer styles of filmmaking.
Yeah.
So you can see a lot of those older styles mixed with the newer styles of the cinematography. It's actually a really cool movie. And then of course I have after reading Roger Moore's biography and just seeing how lovely of a human being he is, I'm like, he's got to be my favorite now. I just appreciate his approach to Bond, because he was like, look, I've wanted to do Bond since they were casting this, but he was doing the Saint, of course, and it never worked out. When he finally got it, Sean Connery had done 6 movies, 7 movies, something like that. And he's like, we've already seen that. I want mine to be fun. I want mine to be gadgets. I want mine to be Seiko watches and Lotuses and all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the brooding Bonds anymore. And people give him shit, but he's like, it worked. And he was very popular at it. And God bless him. But the bouffant hair, man. At a certain point, the hair just went, and he just took one strand and whittled and just frozen yogurt into it. God bless him.
Mr. Yasmin in the chat said Cary Fukunaga also has the new TV show for Netflix called Maniac with Jonah Hill and Emma Stone. Thank you for putting those together for me. I saw the name on the list, didn't put together what it was. That also looks pretty crazy.
He's a badass, and he picks good projects.
Yeah.
And he's got a great, either his management team or maybe his instincts are just very good for no, let's go over this way. Let's steer clear of that, which is again why I'm excited that he's doing Bond 25. Also, can we get a fucking title for this movie already, Broccoli? I'm tired of calling it Bond 25.
Pretty cool though.
It's cool, but it's just so sterile. I need something.
Cool.
And I'm just saying this. Bring back Adele. That's all I'm saying.
I have no rebuttal to that.
Okay.
Her Skyfall song was so good.
Yeah. Well, then we got Sam Smith for the last one. It was oh.
I don't remember.
Nobody does. It was just completely vanilla.
Oh, okay.
He just sang
I like
that.
Sam Smith.
I don't dislike Sam Smith, but they made a lot of errors with Spectre. One of which was Skyfall was already sort of like a ballad.
Yeah.
Then they should have gone with more of a Chris Cornell. This style was just off. We already had that. Why are you giving us that again?
Make it your own.
It's hey, you've had your fill of Reese's peanut butter cups. Here are a few more. And I never said no to those, but I would consider it.
Fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
Bring up this next news story, Kevin. Dude, 1-2 punch of getting me fucking excited. Bob Iger finally confirms Disney is making fewer Star Wars movies. Thank the Lord and our Savior, George Lucas. In an interview, no, don't thank George Lucas?
No.
He's not the right person to thank?
No.
Well, someone made the right choice here, because in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, Iger took responsibility for the rapid pace in Star Wars film production and called that early strategy a mistake. Now Iger believes the company did, quote, a little too much, too fast. You're not being hard enough on yourself there, Iger. For those of you listening at home, taking a break to just pour out the rest of the good stuff.
Man, you are really celebrating today, finishing the bottle.
Cannonball.
I mean, you've got some two pretty Nick stories on here.
Cannonball.
We also have 2 more bottles in the fridge.
Quote, you can expect some slowdown, Iger said, but that doesn't mean we're not going to make films. He pointed to J.J. Abrams' continued work on Episode 9 and Game of Thrones creators David Benioff and D.B. Wise's upcoming Star Wars sagas as examples of films still in the works. Notably, did not mention Rian Johnson's trilogy coming up, and I'm wondering if we should read into that at all, or if I just didn't read the whole article and maybe it was in there somewhere. I'm sure it was.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just like to think that that Bob Iger is just sitting there going like this. That fucking kid, you know? Are you a Last Jedi fan?
Oh, we're getting into it.
No, we're not gonna get into it. Yeah, it's just yes or no.
Simple.
I enjoy it.
Okay.
Shit.
I think it's. I think there are lots of problems with that movie, but if you put it on right now, I would smile through the whole thing, have a great time.
Okay. Well, you have a good perspective on it.
Okay.
You have a good perspective
It's safe-
on it.
it's a safe answer.
You're clearly a well-adjusted human being, adult human being. I am
On the
not.
internet.
I am not. Sadly. A pointed to those the upcoming Star Wars sagas as examples of films still in the works. This jibes should be jibes with the early reports that further anthology films such as the rumored but unannounced Obi-Wan film were what got the axe in the wake of Solo. Quote, "We're just at the point where we're going to start making decisions about what comes next after episode 9, Iger says, but I think we're going to be a little bit more careful about the volume and timing, and the buck stops here on that." So taking responsibility. Of course, he also brings up that Jon Favreau's got a series that's coming to TV planned for Return of the Jedi, to bridge the gap between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens, which I'm like, do we need that gap bridged?
Yeah.
The gap's been bridged like 4 times. Like,
Well, you know what I mean? It's like, it's one of those, he points to that and he's like, we're still doing that, but I'm like, that's an example of something we don't need.
well, it's funny.
In
that
my opinion.
It's funny that he's like, we're going to slow things down. All we got is this huge TV show and 2 of these trilogies. Just that.
Yeah. We got the 9th movie coming out.
That's pushing
We're
on
really
the
going to
brakes.
take a gentle approach to the future of Star Wars.
It's
With only
unfortunate
2
because
upcoming trilogies simultaneously.
yeah, it's I get it. They got to make their money. They paid $800 bazillion to Lucas, who was just like,
4 billion.
like laughing like Skeletor. He's probably rolling over in his grave right now, though.
Also not dead.
Not dead?
Not
dead. Good for him. Good for George Lucas. I get it, but this, yeah, I mean, I don't know how you slow down. These are all already in production. My guess is they were like, okay, we were going to work on an Obi-Wan film. We did have these other plans, and we're just going to kind of zhuzh those aside for the time being. Me personally, I would be 100% happy if 2 to 3 years we get a Star Wars film. Like every 2 years we get a Star Wars film. Maybe every 3 years we get a Star Wars film. Take your time with these.
Yeah.
Make them special. It's like a toy, not to quote myself from yesterday, but it's like when you couldn't get that toy when you were a kid, that very special toy that was really well made, and you were like, oh, I have the other one, but I need Luke. I've got Vader. And you went to every toy store, and you finally found it, and you unpackaged it, and it was everything you wanted it to be. And when you were holding it in your hands, you're like, this articulates the way I want it, and it's perfect. Oh, look, he's got a little lightsaber, and everything's perfect. That's great. You know what's not as fun? When every toy store has 4,000 of them, and they all kind of suck. I'm just saying, scarcity is a commodity.
I do
make them special again.
like that they've, at least with like the mainline trilogy, have put them out like a year apart, 2 years apart.
2 years apart.
2 years apart.
Right.
I like that
Well, yeah,
pattern.
it was.
I don't necessarily think that we needed the interstitials.
That's what I'm saying. And I think
Though
that
I
they're.
really did like Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One's fucking great.
Rogue One's good. Solo?
Not so much. Didn't need to happen.
Solo's like when they leave the barbecue sauce off of your double Western bacon cheeseburger, and you're like, this is just a double cheeseburger now. You know? You left off the thing that was special about this. Why did I come all the way to Carl's Jr. to get this? And you eat the crisp cut fries, and you're like, this metaphor is gone. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I lost it halfway through. They can't all be gold.
It's true. It's true.
What's your read on this?
I'll give you my read.
Give it
we
to
have
me.
a very exciting Star Wars release next year that I'm way more excited than any movie or TV show or whatever.
What is it?
We have this theme park down in Southern California called Disneyland.
Really? I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
And there is a Star Wars land that is opening next summer.
It's
Interesting.
gonna be so
We
great.
got a new ride. You can get alcohol at the bar there.
Wow.
Cantina
is
bar.
the
I'm so
cantina?
excited.
Apparently go into the Falcon. I don't know. I'm like tended to read up on details because I want this thing so bad.
Aren't they? If I'm correct in this is the one over in Anaheim, California.
Correct. Yeah.
Is
yeah,
this?
yeah.
Are they
Formerly
also?
Orange Groves, now lots of hotels.
Right.
The convention center's there.
I think I've been there once or twice for the prepubescent teen con, VidCon. That's what it's called. Are they also doing in this land a land of Avengers, Marvel's Avengers?
Yes. They're
So-
shutting down the Bugs Life area, and they're putting that in over where like there's a Guardians of the Galaxy Tower
Yeah.
which took over Twilight Zone.
One's in
Which we'll get to
Disneyland, one's in California Adventure.
So do we
Yeah.
assume then that
Star Wars Land's going to be in Disneyland. The Marvel's going to be in California Adventure, which is south.
Fucking stoked.
is it fair to
That's so
assume
good.
then that the rides in the Marvel land will be fairly consistently good, while the rides in the Star Wars land occasionally will
Don't
just
do it,
plummet my fucking
Nick.
hopes and dreams into the goddamn ground.
Nick, a lot of rides in Disneyland are super old. All the rides in California Adventure are new as fuck.
I also don't think there's enough room in A Bug's Life to have like any big attractions.
I'm just saying if I
It's
go
not that big.
on the Star Wars rides and one's amazing because it was made by J.J. Abrams, and then the other one right afterward is just the modern day equivalent to It's a Small World, and it makes me halfway through want to just drown myself in that weird water that they have.
It smells so interesting. It's
It's
like a very
grease.
uniquely Disneyland smell, and I don't know what
smells
it
like
is.
grease.
It's a fake smell. They pump that in.
The good news is, Nick, the ride will be like 5 minutes long. So
Okay.
if you don't enjoy it 2.5 minutes in, you don't have much longer to wait.
Okay, well.
Unless
okay.
it gets stuck. That would be the most Nick thing ever, to like have it break down and then you'd be stuck in it for
It's
hours.
just Duel of the Fates over and over. I'm like, ah! This is killing me.
Duel of
not
Fates is
bad,
like
man.
the one good thing about Phantom Menace.
Right?
That's true. That is true.
That'd be dope.
Man, that is true.
Also,
Do you have a annual pass, I assume?
Yeah.
So you're gonna be there the
Well,
first
I'm
non-blackout
not going to
day.
be there that first day because
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to walk through that park for at least
And I have a
5
feeling
months.
they're gonna change the blackout calendar.
Sure, they're
oh,
going
man,
to change
I
all
hate
sorts of
that
crazy
blackout
stuff,
calendar
and
so much.
yeah, they're gonna push us through like cattle to try
Yeah.
to get in there and.
I was
see
reminiscing
everything.
the
So,
other day
Paul-
about old annual pass prices. Like the first year I lived in Southern California, I paid $350 for mine for like the second highest one with parking, and now it's like $800. It's bonkers.
First pass I got was in the 90s, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
$110. What? For the whole year, done. One payment.
Damn.
For a year of Disneyland.
My
$100.
annual pass generally costs $0.
You never had one?
Because I go to Disneyland roughly once every 10 years.
Even when you
We
lived
went to
in
Disneyland
Irvine, you
like
didn't
2 years ago.
have one?
No, God no.
That's
If
so
you
weird.
live in Orange County, you don't go to Disneyland.
That's historically not
You
true
just
at all.
don't give a shit about
The
Disneyland.
9 years I, lived
worked
in
at
Orange
Disneyland,
County,
and
I had
barely
one.
went to Disneyland. The only time I ever went to Disneyland on a consistent basis was when I used to work in downtown Disney and get drunk with the bartender, and then we would go over and ride Space Mountain until they kicked us off.
I want those stories. I'm going to dig for those stories.
They're not great stories.
I feel like
it. That's the long and
everybody
short of
I
it.
knew in Orange
'Cause you can
County
get
had
in for free.
annual passes.
So when it was like raining and no one was there, except for the unfortunate.
Where'd you work? What store?
I worked at the Jazz Kitchen.
Okay, nice.
Oh,
It's a good restaurant.
Ralph
Yeah.
Brennan's Jazz Kitchen.
Yeah, I
They have
did.
the good little beignets.
They do have really good beignets, and I used to help myself to them a lot until the cook was like, "Stop,
Get out of
these
here.
are beignets." Yeah, I worked at downtown Disney, and so we got passes. You can get in. It was like we weren't actual Disney employees, but they gave us passes that like if it was, I guess, acceptable, we could go in or whatever. So on rainy days when we'd get cut early, we'd slam a couple back and then take the monorail into the park and just be rapscallions. Like
You were those people.
we were just those guys.
Hey, you guys go to Disney a lot. How early are you supposed to, like, let's say I want to have a dinner at the Blue Bayou. How early am I supposed to fucking reserve something?
You can do that morning. You can do it on the
Really?
drive over. I think you can do it online. Yeah, you just call
'Cause
online.
online, I'm going this weekend.
Yeah.
Buddy's getting married there. And, like,
Weekends are harder.
yeah, I was like, okay, Saturday, I got, like, 4 days. This was a couple days ago. I was like, I'll reserve something. Sold out, like, it's booked out.
Oh, really?
Until, like, fucking November. It's absurd.
You can walk up day of though.
I'm gonna try that, but like in my experience, that hasn't worked really well.
Gordo Lotto says online reserve, Kev.
No, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. man.
Kev,
Do it right now, Kev.
get on it right now. We'll wait.
Look it up, Kev Wood.
Let's bring up this next news story. Joe, you threw this on here.
I did.
What is it?
This is the teaser trailer.
Just play it.
It's not working.
You're traveling through another dimension.
Oh shit, we should get Cool Greg.
A dimension not only of sight and
Cool
sound,
Greg.
but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land.
Whose boundaries are that of imagination.
He'll live.
That's the signpost up ahead. Your next stop, the Twilight Zone.
You have no idea how happy this would make him.
Nothing
But it's
super
on
crazy.
CBS All Access.
I
that
know.
sucks.
Star Trek
Here's the-
Discovery's good.
Oh no. You did it.
Yeah, that's right.
Get ready.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know whether or
Well,
not
right.
Star Trek Discovery is good.
Okay.
Because
You can separate the conversation between how good a
refuse-
show is and how bad a platform is.
I refuse to subscribe to yet another streaming platform. So I have been waging a silent war against CBS All Access since they announced that I love Star Trek. I was jacked. Michelle Yeoh, come on, son. Super Cop 2, Super Cop 3, whichever one she was in. Yeah. Crouch Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Another Bond movie that I can't remember right now, but she was in that.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
That's it. I'm in. Let's go. What channel is it on? How can I DVR this? Is it coming to the popular streaming platform Netflix that everyone owns? Wouldn't that be great?
Only in Canada.
CBS All Access. Oh, no, of course, yeah. We get reports, of course, in foreign countries. Oh, Nick, I can watch it on Netflix. Because apparently CBS fucking hates America, and they hate us, and they just want our stupid money.
That last part is true.
I'm traveling to South America at the end of the year. So I'm waiting because I've confirmed via my sources in Chile that I'm not going to Chile, but my sources in Chile, which is as close as I can get because we don't have any Argentinian fans, that you can in fact get once you travel and your IP address is in another country. I will watch all of Star Trek Discovery on Netflix. I will come back and then we will review it then. So I'll call you for that.
I just hope you lost that one Argentinian fan who's like, well, fuck, this closes his
I said that all the time. People get pissed. I was like, oh, we only got what? Well, there's 2 of us, motherfucker. I'm never watching this show again. I was like, you'll be back.
I have a question. How much did picking your vacation location come down to if you would be able to watch that somewhere? Like you were
It did not.
Okay.
It did not. It's just, I'm trumping this up. It is just hilarious that like I'll go to other countries and all of a sudden my queue, all these things pop up on it that I had queued up prior and they're just not there anymore. Mm-hmm. So like I'm excited to watch Elementary again. Love that show.
Okay.
Johnny Lee Miller, fantastic actor. Loved him in Hackers. People are saying just VPN in. You guys are giving me way too much credit. Way too much credit. You think I'm gonna go and VPN in to another country?
That's a service he has to pay for then.
So at that point, you might as well just pay for it.
There you go, Kevin. No, I have something that other people don't. Okay, maybe millennials don't understand this. I've got something that was instilled upon me in the 80s. We had 4 channels to watch and one of them didn't come through that well. I got patience, okay? I got patience. I will sit and stare at a wall for 3 hours if I have to.
It's true, we've seen him do it.
Yeah, at the airport.
How excited are you for the Twilight Zone?
I am very excited. Love the Twilight Zone.
You a Twilight Zone fan?
Yeah. I'm a fan of the original show, and I'm always a little nervous when they're trying to recapture something. Am I excited about this because it's going to be like the old show, or am I excited because it's going to be different?
I go back and forth.
Forrest Whitaker already did a reboot like a ways back. And
that wasn't bad.
Not
though.
fairly memorable. I did not watch it at all, but I don't think it made it past 1 season.
I remember the one episode where it was like a reality show where the daughter got kidnapped, and like the dad was trying to hunt down. Was that not it? No one.
I have no idea what you're
this?
talking about.
And at the end, it was like the mom that had planned everything.
Well, spoilers, dude. Now I'm definitely
Nobody's gonna watch it. Nobody's gonna watch it.
You don't know that.
Fine,
I feel like Jordan Peele. Mm-hmm. I feel like he's a pretty good fit for it based on Get Out and what I've seen for his new movie. I feel like out of a lot of different people that could have picked it up, I have a lot of faith in him. So I'm.
Well, it's also an
comes
anthology
through.
series, so presumably they're going to bring in people to direct each episode that are going to be fun and write. You know, I'm sure they'll have a lot of fun stacking the deck in their favor with great creators.
Yeah.
So it'll be. I mean, that's kind of the original Twilight Zone, right? Which is they get these amazing guest stars, and like Burgess Meredith would be in it. You're like, dude, that's amazing, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll see. It could be really cool. I'm not a huge fan of the anthology horror or sci-fi series.
In general?
I could not get into Black Mirror.
Really? Oh, it's so good.
Well, that's just it. Is Black Mirror so good? It's like, you know.
Isn't that kind of the Twilight Zone?
Examples of these.
Yeah.
And so I'm just curious where an announcement like this isn't enough to get me like super excited. I need to. I need some cast. I need some
more
writers,
like concrete.
Some premises of some of the episodes. And
I was talking to Cool Greg, and I was like, "Yeah, Black Mirror is essentially the same show. Like, why are you so excited?" And he's like, "Honestly, I just really love the intro. That's why I felt like this trailer was perfect for him."
Yeah. You're in the Twilight Zone.
What's that theme gonna sound like? I wonder.
Probably the same.
I hope.
If they're smart, that'll be the intro. It'll just look like a cool updated version of that. They'll still do black and white. Call it a day.
I think with this version of the Twilight Zone, we'll get less because Black Mirror is so technology focused. I think they'll go in a totally different direction.
Yeah, well, I mean that's obviously why Black Mirror is so popular right now, right? Because it's really touching a nerve with everyone that's glued to their phone.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. Like every episode I've watched so far is a great commentary on technology. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Let's go freaky with it. Let's go freaky deaky with
I'm I'm excited to see what kind of tone this new one takes.
it. Okay.
We'll see.
We're getting a little long, but I do want to get to the final news story. Kevin, before we pull this up, we need Marvel Studios expert and our chief comic book expert, Tim Gettys, to come tell us what the hell we're looking at here. Can we grab him? Tim! Oh, he's
I think
coming.
he hears this. I think he hears this.
I think he's coming.
It's way more fun if we just yell until he's
No, I
actually.
know.
I can't, but
having
when
so
Blair
much
was
fun.
here, were you here when Blair was here?
Yeah.
We had Blair Herder on the show, and he was like, you guys just scream for each other? Like, that's how you do it. And Tim,
said
Tim
it
Gettys,
very
ladies and gentlemen, back from
positive
London, back from the dead.
Okay, this is so weird. I was literally just talking to somebody about this shirt and I couldn't find a picture of you wearing it. And I was like, I almost want to ask Tim to wear it tomorrow, and then you show up in it. This is blowing my mind.
There you go.
Now, so
Hearing
Tim,
Kevin wail my name is like,
Hey, Joey willed it
unnerving,
too.
isn't
All
it's, man,
Yeah, but
so
not to the
many
same
emotions.
degree.
we'll see how
None of
many.
them are positive.
Yeah,
right,
I
are we gonna
understand.
do the big topic graphic?
Go for it.
Yeah.
It's 11:50 and we're getting to the big topic now.
Yeah, we're gonna be fine. What's going on with? Well, he's here. Our guest is here. He's enjoying the show.
There you go. I'm in the wings.
We offered to put him on the set, but he was like, I don't know if I'm gonna hang out the whole time. And I was like, okay.
That
you
is
do
not
you.
a conversation that happened.
We didn't I say
You
that?
questioned my
I don't
endurance.
know.
Yeah.
You said we
Ooh.
thought 4 shows would be too many shows.
I did say that.
Yeah.
That is too
I
many
question
shows.
it. I mean, it
decision
is.
It's
for
a
me.
lot of shows.
I don't like
It
doing
is.
that many. I don't like doing
We
that
have
many.
a
All
we
right,
have
it's
a
not my house,
2-show
you know.
rule here.
We do.
Where it's like people can only be on 2
a cap.
shows.
And it's not
3 is like what ends
it's-
up happening a lot though.
The thing is this: 3 is 1 show too many. If you start pushing into 4, you get Krabby Bob syndrome, where people start being snippy pippies, and it's like, did you just get snippy with me? And then you go like this,
Snippy-pippies
and
going
you go,
on.
you've done too many podcasts. That's why. Tim.
Yes.
What the hell's going on with this picture?
End game.
No, dude, there's no way that this is an E. There's an N here.
Did you see the?
Yeah, I did.
Can you click on the full screen of this? You just click into the picture. Okay.
You think it's Endgame?
No,
You
I
don't
just
think
think
it's
the
Avengers?
title. I think the title of the movie is going to be Endgame. I'm entirely.
that would
But,
be-
it's,
I'm
but
with
there's
you. Yeah, I
2
think so.
A's.
Yeah, Avengers Assemble.
You don't think it's Avengers Assemble?
See, I really hope it's not, and I don't think it can be because in Europe that was the name of the first movie.
Oh.
Oh, they
Making
fucked that
good
up.
point.
You
Yeah,
know what
but
it is?
wait, no.
Europe's
in
fucking
Eu-
everything up.
Can't they
That's why you
just
can't
in
call it the
Europe
Bake Off.
change it again? Just call it Avengers.
Assemble
whatever.
again?
Yeah.
I guess.
Avengers
It could
Assemble.
Really assemble?
It could be Assemble again. There's 2 ways.
Should I look down to see? Because
The comments are very funny.
The comments are hilarious on this. If you guys aren't familiar, I'm sorry. I didn't- Shrek. We got
This is the
Aaron.
one that got
That's the
Nick.
one that got me. Aaron got me. If you guys are, I'm sorry, I forgot to set this up. This is one of the Russo brothers tweeted out a picture that's very cryptic, and we're trying to decipher it right now. What is that thing?
That's just an engine that was in the background. I think they're just like, oh, look, it's the same one. Okay.
It's got to mean something.
That's from Infinity War.
Yeah.
Now, what about the markers that are sitting on the back there? Because those are letters, and they don't normally do that.
No, they're
I'm
not.
sitting on the back of what?
Do you see the back markers there?
No, that one's
There's a
like
T.
a T.
There's an A. There's an X. You're right. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Austin?
That's absolutely nothing.
But yeah, so these are a bunch of fucking jokes and shit. But like people have been doing more serious ones as well.
And hats. I love that. That was my favorite. Go back up. Ah! It's just a bunch of A's.
That's good. But someone said Avengers Forever has been like a rumored title, and the Russo brothers were like, or one of them was like, no, but it's close. So a lot of people are like, oh, it could be Avengers Eternal because there's the A and E very clear on the side. On the
Look at,
right
okay,
side.
first off, that's actually not a bad title. But this is ridiculous. The E,
Yeah, but-
the G, there's no G there.
Yeah, there's no
They just
G
drew,
there.
they were like, well, I guess it's G. but
There's a better end game than this.
Okay.
That incorporates. No, it's not that.
Edamame. Oh, man.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Christ.
But there's one end game that I'm like, oh, that actually kind of looks like it. Then there's a bunch of other ones that do make sense, but yeah, no, there's one that the end game is actually like in a horizontal line, and it incorporates the marks on the back. But I think the name of the movie's Endgame.
You think it's Endgame?
It makes the most sense. I rewatched Infinity War a couple days ago on the flight back from London, and like, man, they say Endgame a lot.
Endgame is a great title.
Yeah.
They would be so dumb not to use that. It's
I
such
agree.
it's such a cool, perfectly. It's a perfect title. They're gonna have to call it that. After Earth. That's pretty funny.
Either way, I'm
But yeah, the rumored things, there's Avengers Assemble, Avengers Eternal, Avengers Forever, Avengers Endgame.
Endgame's a dope title. Take it from me. Okay. It's dope.
Nick knows dope.
I know dope.
Nick knows dope.
I work with Cool Greg and Tim Gettys, so I know dope.
True. That's how it works.
All right.
True.
We got to wrap this show up.
Okay.
Thank you, Tim. Tim Gettys.
Welcome. Thank you. My expert opinion.
All right, before we get into tips, PS I love you, all that stuff, we do have two beautiful sponsors of this show, and I'd like to talk to you about that right now. Slack is our first sponsor. Thanks to Slack for supporting Kinda Funny Morning Show. Slack is a collaboration hub for work, whatever work you do. With Slack, the right people in your team are kept in the loop, and the information they need is always at their fingertips. With mobile apps for iOS and Android that sync seamlessly, you can always pick up where you left off no matter where you are. Teamwork on Slack happens in channels, letting you organize conversations and information around projects, offices, and teams. And because everything you need to make work happens in one place, it's faster and easier to get things done. We can attest to this. I Slack myself all the stories every morning when I'm at Starbucks waiting for coffee. I just notes to myself.
Teamwork on Slap also works really well, I found.
Slap?
Yeah.
Did I say slap?
But I find that works sometimes. It's a good motivator.
That's fair. You mean threatening people with physical violence?
No, it's just going straight to the physical violence.
Gotcha, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Slack's not about that. What they are about is also is connecting you with the tools and services in one easy-to-use app with real-time messaging, video calls, group file sharing, drag-and-drop file sharing, and searchable archives that work with all the apps you already use like Jira, Salesforce, Zendesk, and Google Drive. With Slack, your team is better connected. Slack, where work happens. Learn more at slack.com. That's slack.com. Our next sponsor is Simply Safe. Here's why we're big fans of Simply Safe here at Kinda Funny. Simply Safe is ready for anything that gets thrown at you. If a storm takes out your power, Simply Safe is ready. An intruder cuts your phone line, Simply Safe is ready. Say they destroy your keypad or siren, Simply Safe will still get you the help you need. Sure, maybe it's overkill. Maybe you don't need to be ready for every worst case scenario. Maybe that's what makes Simply Safe. But, excuse me, that's not maybe, that's definitive. But that's what makes Simply Safe's home security great. So great, it's always ready. Simply Safe could cost an arm and a leg, but it doesn't. Instead, they only charge you what's fair. 24/7 professional security monitoring is just $14.99 a month. There's no contracts, no hidden fees. That's why we're recommending Simply Safe to everyone we know. You got to check it out. Go to simplysafe.com/morning today. That's simplysafe.com/morning to protect your home and family. simplysafe.com/morning. simplysafe.com/morning. Make yourself safe. I put that last part in. I don't like it.
Really?
As a tagline,
Yeah.
better safe
Then sorry.
than sorry. That's good too. Or sleep safe and sound. Knowing that I'm outside but I can't get in.
Or simply sleep safe.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Also true.
All right, let's check back in with tips.
I got the tips pulled up.
Go for it.
We have one from Panzer G2 that says, Brandon Jones, can you share your thoughts on Speed Racer the movie and Chick-fil-A? Nick, maybe it's time to reconsider? Do you have strong feelings about these
Let's see what
things?
Brandon says.
Chick-fil-A, I didn't really spend a lot of time in, but one opened up very close to my house. I have enjoyed it several times. It is tasty. And Speed Racer is fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's so fucking good.
Brandon Jones, you should be over
Speed
here more
Racer's
often.
great.
Those
Never a
first
dull
5
moment in that
minutes.
Speed Racer.
Listen.
There's never not a thing happening.
Listen, I know
There was
that.
every single frame of that film, some guy at some computer had to just sweat over. I love the spinning heads that go by. The transition, some announcer just like, oh my God, look at that. He's just rotating in a desk chair. Love it.
You're picking all of Nick's favorite parts.
Yeah.
I know that we don't work together and that you run your own team of people and that you are your own boss and that you are doing great over at Easy Allies, but you're fired. Okay? I'm going to officially fire you from Kinda Funny. You can come
Is
back.
it just you? Are you a lone wolf here?
No, I am definitely. First off, I am definitely not a lone wolf
are
of people
a
who
lone
did
wolf.
not like Speed Racer. That
No,
movie
we're
was
talking about within
widely
this
panned by most of the world. You guys were all
It came
on
out
drugs when you
before
watched
its
that
time.
movie.
Are you
Yeah,
being
not
real
much.
bold? You weren't this bold. Scott you were here,
Well,
were you?
Scott Porter's in the movie. And
I
I'm a
know.
shill. I am a shill. I'm clearly not gonna. I'm not gonna insult the man to his face, but
lot
I
of
let
people
him
here
know
like Speed
via some
Racer.
subtle facial movements that I was not a fan of that movie. His work in the movie, great. Not a fan of it though. Not a fan of it.
And Nick also doesn't like Chick-fil-A? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
I
we
think
don't
it's
like
dry
Chick-fil-A. It's
rubbish.
dry rubbish.
Yeah.
Dry rubbish.
Chick-fil-A
I'd rather
sauce
eat
is where it's at.
I'd rather eat the wrapping off of a McDonald's hamburger.
I've seen him doing.
Why do you say it like that on purpose?
He's making fun of the way I say it.
I know. Why do you both say it like that? Have
I
you ever
say
had
it like-
Chick-fil-A
First
sauce?
off, he says it like that because I said it like that a long time ago.
bullshit. I say it like that because of what's that movie called? Not Trading Places. The second one.
Coming to America.
Coming to America.
Yes, which is what we had this conversation like 5 years ago. You're like, why do you say McDonald's? I was like, because that's how they say
No,
it.
Nick, I've
in
said
Coming
it
to
like
America.
that since a little kid.
Regardless of who said it
Ask
first.
You
Tim.
stole it from me.
No.
You stole it from me, just like you stole the last RX bar that was
my
in the
God,
kitchen.
it's so good.
You motherfucker.
It's
and
not
don't know that I didn't
December
know
yet.
you
It's
steal it.
too
Also-
early for the airing of grievances in this office.
Guys, just down the block, Whole Foods, we can buy the RX bars in like giant boxes. Yes, we can use our code and get some sort of discount, but
It's too hard.
right now,
I like where your head's at.
Right now, we can just get
We're
it.
going. We're going to the Whole Foods later.
Yes.
That's where it is. All right, Neobites Live gave us 200 cheers as well. It said, these cheers go to all the Easy Ally fans who are kind of funny fans as well and represent these two communities coming together with some love and respect. Appreciate that. Neobites Live, though, apparently just refuses to give us the threshold of cheers.
Yeah.
Doesn't
well, you
understand how
keep
it
reading
works. I like it. He's got a good head on his shoulders. Good heart. Good heart. Joe, give us the PS I Love. Do you have that pulled up?
Yeah, so
do
Kevin,
it.
can you pull this up for me, please?
No, I'm good.
PS I Love This Best Friend is where you could shout out people doing cool things in the community. I found this on our subreddit, and it's my favorite thing. Can we enhance so that people can see?
Enhance.
So this was a crew of people that were playing Destiny 2 together, and they noticed that they were both in various kind of funny best friend fire teams, clans. I don't really know what Destiny 2 terminology is.
You gave me
So one said, "You kicked our ass, GG. I love KF. Keep fucking that chicken," which is a long-standing kind of funny morning show reference.
Yep.
GG's to you as well. I felt like Alec Baldwin out there all sweaty and bumping into shit, which is another Nickism or Andyism. And then the response is, "The Departed is a great movie despite the beliefs of some poor souls." A direct shot at one Nick Scarpino. So I just thought that this was really cool because I feel like normally when you get messages after playing some sort of multiplayer game, it's usually like really not great. So I thought this was a fun little thing.
That's great. That's great to see.
Yeah. So
I will say about Captain Geach, though, you're wrong. And everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Nick
but
also
you
doesn't
are
like The
misinformed.
Departed. Brandon Jones. How do you feel about The Departed?
It makes me sad he won for that because he's made better movies.
Wolf of Wall
Mr.
Street being
Scorsese,
one of
but,
them, Goodfellas being one of them, pretty much every other
Goodfellas
movie.
definitely being one of them. But
movie he made
it's
that
fun.
wasn't
And,
Departed.
I actually, when I would think back,
It
on
was a participation
Huber would
award
be
is what
very
they gave
angry
him.
at me when I would say this, but I'm like, Departed was that great. And I rewatched it, and the performances are really stellar in that.
The performances are. Here's the thing. We're fuck it. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about this because you're here and we're going to talk about it. The performances aren't what I had a problem with, and the movie is entertaining. It's not the performances, it's the performances together. It's the tone of the movie that from scene to scene is completely off. It's comical at some points, then intense at some points, then completely farcical at some points, then Reservoir Dogs at the end. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And tonally, I don't like movies that shift that much all around. You look at Wolf of Wall Street, boom, nails it. From start to finish, you know what you're into. We're talking to the camera, we're doing classic Scorsese, it's cocaine in the asshole, it's the money, throwing money at FBI agents. And this one, it's 1 second, for whatever reason, Mark Wahlberg's hilariously talking shit to Leonardo DiCaprio, who's like, I'm in this horrible position and you're just making fun of me. It doesn't make any sense. Tonally off. I haven't seen tone that bad since the scene with Louis C.K. and frickin' Bradley Cooper in American Hustle, which you're like, why is this fucking scene in this movie? That's The Departed from scene to scene. It doesn't make any sense to me. Again, an enjoyable movie, just not good, and he should not have won for that. I stand by the fact that he got a participation award that year as an Academy Award. He should have got it the next year or the year, whichever year Wolf of Wall Street came out. They should have just all stood up and handed him the Academy Awards for that movie because he should have gotten it for Goodfellas.
Slave won the award that year.
It was a good movie. All right.
Just keeping you informed.
It was a good, it's a good movie. Solid film. Let's go over to the chat right now.
Oh, man.
All right, if you have any questions for me, Brandon, or Joey, or Kevin, please key those up in the chat, and we will take those just a few minutes, and then we'll let everyone take a break, and he'll be back for Games Daily.
There's another tip from Robin GL. Did we go over that one?
Did we?
Wasn't that the one?
I don't think you read it. The Wall of Kevin?
Oh, I thought it was the same.
Oh, he gave us another one. Nick, have you seen the Swedish ending to Finding Dory? Let's hope it makes it past the Great Wall of Kevin. Is it good, Kev?
I'm watching it now.
Okay, Kev, we'll watch
It's a
that.
little long.
No, it's too
21
long.
seconds. It's actually not as long as I thought.
All right, let's watch it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Is that it? God, I hope
Hold on.
I hope the president's in this.
He is not.
Oh. Or the king, rather.
I don't know if we should play the music.
No, just keep it
And you
muted.
can't even really hear it.
All right. Good enough.
Well, I can't, but they probably can. Okay.
Because that means something else to them.
I would assume so.
I think that means end.
Oh man.
Out of context, things are funny.
Yeah.
Man, I love being an American. I love just not knowing anything about other people's cultures and just making fun of people for our own ignorance.
Oh my gosh.
Damn, Dorius is paying attention too.
some
Let's see.
questions
Underpaid
we
drummer
got?
says, so y'all just not going to talk about Batman's dick? You know, we actually talked about that on GOG yesterday. So that'll be in next week's, I think, right? At some point we talked about Batman's dick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was GOG, the pre-show.
It's a
We
lot.
did the pre-show, yeah.
Where you're.
Are you a comic fan?
Oh yeah.
Did you see
I'm
the
a Batman
Batman's,
fan. Of course.
his big
I
turtle
love
head?
it. Like my wife texted to me just the headline, and then like 10 minutes later, it's like, did you see it? I'm like, of course. What do you think? Did I see it?
Of course, I
Of course
clicked on that link.
right away.
It's so indicative of our culture that people are like, oh, we showed half of a penis.
It's indicative already.
You don't. It's very. You wonder why they called him Dick Grayson. No, okay, that's a bad joke. I'm sorry. I apologize. You're better than that, people. You deserve better than that.
Wasn't funny, Nick.
Anyway, it's cool. They drew a dick. Batman's got a dick. His name is Batman. That's cool. I just always assumed he had a dick. Now we've seen it. We saw Ben Affleck's dick in Gone Girl. He's kind of Batman. What's the difference? That's all I'm saying.
Were you not equally excited when you heard that Ben Affleck's dick was briefly shown?
Ben Affleck's dick doesn't get me off. It doesn't get me excited.
Didn't we Google it in the office together?
We did. We saw. We for scientific sake we did.
Sure.
For purely for science we did.
Absolutely.
It wasn't for any like sort of latent sexual energy that you and I were sharing at that moment.
No, I'm sure
No,
not.
it was just because we're fans of Ben Affleck's work as a director, not as an actor.
Some of us like him as an actor.
No, most people don't.
It's questionable.
Well, let's go. All right. You know what? Here's the deal. One of these days, I'm going to just do it. I'm just going to do two videos. One of why Ben Affleck is a great director and a terrible actor, and one of why The Departed's not a good movie.
I don't
And I'm
like
gonna
Ben Affleck as
convince
director. I don't know why you're yelling at me.
I'm going to take to my internet pulpit, and I'm going to convince everyone that my perspective is the right perspective.
Nick,
Because film is not subjective. It's not subjective.
Nick, sit down and write it, and I'll have Cool Greg edit together something beautiful. Do it, man. That's a great idea.
You know I have to edit my own shit.
I know, but
You know me.
You don't have to.
Daddy's got to surf his own wave, you know? I make the wave, I surf it. I can't surf other people's waves. Point Break.
Is that a thing?
No.
Oh, I was like, do I need to
Is
rewatch
anything
Point
that I
Break?
say a thing? Well, Point Break, yes, you do, first off.
Just in
Just in
general.
general. But do not, I swear to God, Joey,
What?
I swear to God, if you come
I'm
in
gonna watch
tomorrow,
the new one. Right?
if you fucking watch the new one and you come in tomorrow to tell me you watched the new one instead by accident, but it just happened to be good, one of us is eating this controller.
Is the new
It's
one
gonna
not
be
good?
you, huh?
It's terrible. The new one's actually, it's not a good movie, and it has nothing to do with Point Break, except that one person surfs one time. That's it. They totally missed the concept of the surfing culture and why it applies to these guys robbing banks to begin with, and why Keanu Reeves is the uptight FBI guy, needed them in his life, and how they affected him. Point Break, very nuanced movie.
Was it? I showed you the flowchart.
Yeah. Is it Point Break or is it Fast and Furious? Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, it's legit.
It's
legitimate
fucking
argument.
hilarious. I was like, yeah, this checks out.
That's Hollywood.
This logic is perfect. The only deciding factor is whether or not it has Vin Diesel in it. God bless Vin Diesel.
Mr. Yasman wants to know, Brandon, do you have any thoughts on Daddy's Home, the movie?
I haven't. I've seen the first one. It's pretty funny actually. I enjoyed it.
Brandon, we were on
I've
such
not seen
good
the second
terms.
one though. But
You have, I'll tell you one thing right now.
recommendation from the missus.
Our friendship was so close to over. So close to
Oh, am I
over.
back?
And you just redeemed yourself. You're 110%
But isn't
back
that the
by
way?
your
It just
graces.
takes one thing to knock it down and another thing to bring it right
It
back
really
up.
is. I can't even remember why we were feuding to begin with. I'll be honest with you. Your
likes
love of
Speed
that.
Racer.
Have you seen The House, by the way? Will Ferrell's The House?
No.
Amy Poehler, you'll like it.
Okay.
It's silly. And
Oh yeah, it's on HBO right now.
yeah, they start a casino in their house. It's the stupidest movie, but it's got so many good moments in it. All right.
Nicholas, we also haven't talked about the fact that I saw Grace 2 and you didn't come with me, and I'm very sad about it.
You know what?
I have no
There
coffee
just
left.
isn't time. There just isn't. We're out of time, everyone. I love you very much. Thank you so much for joining us on the morning show. Thank you to special guest Brandon Jones from Easy Allies. If you're not familiar with them, go check them out. They're awesome. He'll be on all of our content all day today. If you're a Patreon subscriber on patreon.com/kindoffunnygames, you can watch him live on Gamescast. I will also be on Gamescast today, I think, talking some Red Dead. It's going to be a doozy. That one's going to do real well. Until tomorrow, I love you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Kevin, please cut the feed.